the majority these days, they homosexual.
Both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship.
They're in a relationship that's open, and they've been open.
The Smith family have been in the news for many reasons, from personal to private, and people trying to expose them for their twisted dynamics. But it looks like Jaden has finally run out of patience to deal with all the drama back home, as he's running wild and exposing his own family. Recently, Jaden came out with a revelation that he and Willow turned out to be bisexual because they were raised by their parents this way. This explosive revelation has rocked the entertainment industry to its core. Stay tuned for all the drama, because we have all the deets to run with. So let's get into it. The actor turned singer Jaden Smith has been known for his boldness in both fashion and career. He gives his parents, Will and Jada Smith, all the credit for teaching him to embrace himself and to truly feel at home in his person. In an interview with Nylon magazine, Jaden said, "The greatest lesson I've learned from my parents is to be myself at all costs, no matter what anybody thinks." But as sweet as it sounds, things are not as straightforward as the celebs make them to be. Tokyo Tony broke down the family dynamics quite nicely in an interview with Night and Day Talk Media.
They're into threesomes, foursomes. Both of them are bisexual. Okay, the kids are both bisexual. The whole the family is bisexual.
Let's not forget what happened to Jada's daughter a few years back. She was in a relationship with a full-grown man almost twice her age.
Jada's daughter was on the bed about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, I seen. Yup.
With the grown man.
Tony explained that Willow was not even fazed when the Child Protection Services were called, and it is all due to the parenting style of her parents that have twisted the values for her. It's common sense that children who are brought up in a toxic household turn out to be toxic as well. And that's not all. Tony speculates that Will and Jada do these unimaginable deeds just to stay at the top in Hollywood. And that is not very difficult to imagine. Or is it? Now, we all know that Will and Jada don't have a conventional marriage. Will confirmed in an interview with GQ magazine that he and Jada are in an open marriage, admitting they were both miserable and clearly something had to change. But their views about marriage itself are quite orthodox, to say the least. We've given each other trust and freedom, with the belief that everybody has to find their own way. And marriage for us can't be a prison. Will explained his twisted philosophy in an interview with Oprah Winfrey.
Simple idea is you love in freedom with everybody except your partner. Friendship versus marital prison.
Ooh. Well, Will most definitely should not have married if he believes that marriage vows are nothing prison. But this does give us a window to look at how strange the family would be that grew up in a household where marriage is of no value. Some insiders in the industry, such as Jaguar Wrights, have also explained that behind the closed doors of the Smith mansion, some things occur that no sane man would like to experience.
Both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship.
Jag even called the fake marriage between Will and Jada an embarrassment for all the real marriages in the world.
They still want to believe that that sham of a fucking marriage is real.
It's rather perverse, if you ask us, to have a relationship with your kid's friend and discuss openly with your husband. Yes, you heard that right. Jada Pinkett Smith has a history with Jaden's friend, and she just aired her dirty laundry for all the world to see in the Red Table Talk.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
Well, as far as common sense is concerned, it's quite inappropriate for a wife to talk about her secret endeavors with her husband, especially on live television. But Tony, who has some insider information, revealed that August Alsina was in a relationship with both Jada and Will. And that is why Will is not mad with jealousy over his wife's affair.
The boy was only there to both of them. Let's not play. That August boy was with both of them.
Yeah.
Despite this twisted reality show, there's another kind of drama that's yet to reach its epiphany. That is, Jaden was trying to get out of the house even before he turned 16. Now, one might wonder just what was happening in that house that caused an underage high-profile child to get so desperate to get out that he filed for emancipation. And might we mention that emancipation is originally meant for children that are being abused physically or mentally or both. The public is somewhat convinced about the household tea Tony just spilled. For some reason, I can believe that. How was August Jaden's friend, living in the Smith household when Jaden was emancipated and moved out at age 15? Wouldn't August have been living with Jaden and not with Will and Jada? It makes sense that he was there for Will and Jada. Jada simply developed an attachment to her entanglement. That's where open marriages go left. And Tony has the answer to this million-dollar question.
You know why? Because he probably was fucked by his daddy.
It does look like some harassment is in the play because the father has been caught forcibly kissing his son on the lips while promoting the movie After Earth. Will Smith smacked a wet kiss on Jaden's lips, while that host was rendered speechless with his behavior. But that was not the first time such a thing has taken place. Jaden himself revealed that it was a regular occurrence.
All the time.
As far as the public is concerned, the experience of watching the incident was incredibly disturbing. If a father kissed his daughter like that, grabbing her face, putting his hands around her neck, holding her down while she is trying desperately to pull away, I would be disgusted and worried that he might be abusing her. I have the same concerns in this situation. Tokyo Toni is not coming slow. She has made some surprising remarks about the slapping incident at the Oscars. She claimed that the incident was crap to begin with, but the smack was as real as they come.
That was a real smack. Y'all don't realize it. Y'all think that smack was fake and this and the third. They did reverse psychology on you.
She backtracked to a few years before the Oscars and remembered the agenda the Smith couple was on. They wanted people to boycott the Oscars for some reason, and Toni thinks it was a psychological trick for people to get a deep impression of them. She also wonders that it was rather strange that every male comedian trolled Will in their show. Maybe it was the perfect time for Chris to take down Will and destroy his career. And we all know the friendships in the industry are not the real ones.
Every fucking comedian butted in. Go back and listen to Mike Epps at the Breakfast Club. I said, oop, I knew it.
Looks like Chris had a major influence in the comedy community to make them talk crap about Will on their shows. And Will played his part perfectly, so it's safe to believe that the Smith couple was onto something or afraid of something getting exposed, so they chose to get canceled. Off topic, Will slapped Chris to cancel himself on effing purpose. He knew he was gonna start getting exposed. Keep in mind, Will and Jada and Chris chose a door. Jaden and Willow suffered and still suffering because of their parents' selfish wants. Sick. In another episode with Red Table Talk, Smith confronted his mother about her lack of motherly treatment that both him and Willow received throughout their childhood. At one point, Willow expressed that as the child of a celebrity, she felt she always had to be strong and wasn't allowed to display emotions. Smith agreed with her, saying, "Back in the day, if I would have been crying or had been upset, the energy was always like, take that somewhere else. Like, take that somewhere else and deal with it on your own." But people believe that both children know what went down in that house and how bad the abuse was. The environment Jada has created in her house is just to make money off her family drama, including her children. It doesn't take a genius to know that there's not much truth to what they're saying there at all. As a fan graciously summed it up saying, Jaden wanted to move out at 17 and emancipate himself. Willow doesn't even live near her parents. They know what went on in that house. So wrapped up in themselves, they didn't really pay attention to what their kids were going through. Willow used to cut herself and Jada didn't even know it, but they're supposed to be so close. Unless Jada did know and used it for the Red Table Talk. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.